Nancy Pelosi, in what I describe as an anti-American move. The country is really hurting. We need to get relief quickly. The American people are owed this, deserve this. They deserve a functioning government. They deserve the relief. So what does Nancy Pelosi do? Well, she has a meeting with 200 of her lawmakers and says, according to this, what her majority whip said, according to people that were on the call, quote, "This is a tremendous opportunity to restructure things to fit our vision." So it goes back to Rahm Emanuel's never let a good crisis go to waste.
This is the 1,100-page bill that was initially introduced for those watching on Facebook. And our team of attorneys and I had been through virtually the entire bill when last night I was up in the middle of the night to do some child care. And this version, which is the 1,400-page version, replaced the 1,100-page version. So we had to start going through that one.
Any outstanding debt of the Postal Service is waived. There is corporate board diversity. Is one that's in this. I
want to talk about that one.
And then also get one that now we get to a political side of is mandating early voting in all states.
Airline fuel efficiency standards are in there. So portions from the Green New Deal, a bailout for the Kennedy Center, a bunch of money for the National Endowment for the Humanities, state control stripped away from the federal government for election rules. Jay, basically, it's a wish list from her committees of policy ideas. So at a time where tens of thousands of Americans are losing their job, in order to meet the mandates in Speaker Pelosi's bill for corporate boards, they would have to do more layoffs to comply with this bill. That is the opposite of what is needed. When is a deal going to get done, Jay? I hope today, but I said the same thing to you yesterday. Ultimately, Leader Schumer is going to have to decide that he wants a deal.
So time is of the essence. We appreciate the urgency, but this is a $2 trillion bill. That is a very, very tall order, and we want to make sure that whatever we are doing, that it recognizes the urgency, that the checks are getting to the people in time.
Yeah, she just said that.
Okay, so let's break this down. So
it's
time is
of
the essence.
It's just a lie. That's all it is. It's a lie. The people are lying to you, so realize that.
So she says, so time is of the essence? Obviously not.
Right.
Because she's willing to keep this negotiation going. We appreciate the urgency, Than, she says. Obviously, she doesn't.
A few days ago, this bill was 247 pages long, and it was $1 trillion. And if it had been passed, the checks, $1,200 to each individual, $500 for a child, Jay, they would literally be being processed right now as we speak. The direct assistance to the American people, Jay, in her package, it barely goes up. It goes up to $1,500 per person. The vast majority of the additions are all unrelated to the virus crisis. So when Logan says it's a lie, I think that's correct.
This is absolutely insane. All people are doing is trying to stay above water. You know, these are people who are legitimately hurting more than I don't think anyone in Washington really even understands. I don't think they talk to people. Go talk to literally anyone. If you're listening to this, likely you've been impacted by this majorly, but if not, someone very close to you has.
I spent 3 weeks on the floor of the United States Senate. Can I just be blunt here?
Yeah.
Okay. Sitting 6 feet away from some of the people that are causing this problem.
Yeah.
The House managers. And members of the United States Senate that are also causing this problem, like Mr. Schumer. I sat in that chamber, spoke in that chamber till I couldn't speak anymore. Did this for 3 weeks. When I turned it on, actually when my wife turned it on to look at it, I think it was either last night or this morning, she says, I cannot even look at this.
Yeah.
Because I know what this is. All that we're working till 3 o'clock in the morning. They think that they're building the sympathy in the American people instead of getting the job done. They did the same thing with the nonsense during the impeachment trial, as if this is giving. I have no sympathy for a member of the United States Senate or the House of Representatives. No. You know who I have sympathy for? Your barber who doesn't have a job anymore. That's who I have sympathy for. The people who are going in and you give them a tip, you're giving a tip bigger than the bill because you want them to try to stay in business. That's who we should have sympathy for. Not the Kennedy Center right now. The Kennedy Center? Really? They don't have private donors that could give them $35 million.
Joe Manchin was actually just on one of the cable networks not long ago and said, if we reach a deal, we're willing to waive the hour requirements and we could pass it today. Okay, Jay, so it's time to do that. I mean, only one Democrat
I would say waive
voted
your hour requirements. That might be a really good thing to do, Joe Manchin. I mean, really.
Well,
that seems like you're doing me a favor? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm really disgusted with this. So you're telling me that Joe Manchin on the floor of the Senate said, or to a media source said, hey, we're even willing to waive the hour requirements.
Yep. And he did it after voting against beginning debate. So he voted against beginning debate. Then he went in front of a TV camera and said, if we ever do start debate, we'll be willing to waive the debate.
What a nice gesture, Joe Manchin out of West Virginia.
Yeah,
this is the nonsense. The 3 o'clock in the morning thing. I realized when I was there, these are all put-ups, Stan.
It's a show.
These are put-up. What'd you just say?
It's a show. These are people who want to control your lives. These are like Democrat overlords who decide this is a perfect way to step into all of your business and take your money and not give you when they actually need you. The one time we really need people to help and we need the government to assist, they refuse to.
I want to look at the American people. I want to look at you that are watching us on TV or Facebook or whatever media source you're using, social media platform, or listening to us on radio. I want you to hear me for a moment. It seems like to me, they like our show. You know, Chuck Schumer comes out and say, we are working so hard. We were here at 1 o'clock in the morning. How about starting it at 8 o'clock in the morning and having it done at 10:30? That'd be nice. Instead, I got Joe Manchin doing the American people a real favor. I'm going to do you a real favor. If we get to where we like it, we'll waive the hours for debate. If we get it to like it. But meanwhile, I'm voting no for the debate. That's what they're doing in the United States Senate. And while they're doing that in the Senate, Nancy Pelosi is stuffing the green pepper full of who knows what. Well, we're finding out what the who knows what is. That's what's going on in your government right now. You think it's frustrating? You know what? People are dying. We need help. People's businesses are falling apart. And what are they doing? What are they willing to do? Maybe I'll move some hours of debate.